The stale scent of cigar smoke and cheap perfume still clung to Lieutenant Kenneth Taylor's mess dress, a faint counterpoint to the coppery tang now filling the air. The all-night poker game, the boisterous laughter, the impossible luxury of a world just hours ago, all a fading dream. Now, the scream of radial engines and the dull thud of bombs were his reality. He stirred, the cheap whiskey sour curdling in his gut, and a jolt of adrenaline, cold and sharp, cut through the haze. Welch was already scrambling, his lanky frame a blur against the frantic light of dawn. Before continuing with the story, please check the description and pinned comment of this video. We've released a series of World War II short story ebooks on the Amazon Kindle store. You're invited to visit our Amazon product pages and read the samples. We'll continue adding more ebooks regularly to cover the vast conflict of World War II. None of the stories narrated on this YouTube channel are included in these ebooks, so you'll discover unique perspectives in them. Now, let's continue with the story. Wielder Field was a chaotic tapestry of smoke and fire. The distant crump of detonations from Pearl Harbor punctuated the frantic chatter of machine gun fire. Taylor, a recent transfer from flying school, still felt the stiff collar of his tuxedo shirt against his neck. He saw the red meatballs on the wings, too close, too real. Instinct, honed by months of relentless training on dusty Hawaiian airfields, superseded the shock. "Haliiwa!" he barked, his voice hoarse, fumbling for the phone. "2 P-40s, fueled and armed, now!" The order, unauthorized and urgent, felt right. His prior experience, limited to mock bog fights and target runs, suddenly felt inadequate, yet it was all he had. The phone at the other end crackled with a sleepy, then panicked acknowledgement. Welch's Buick, a gleaming symbol of peacetime luxury, tore down the road to Haliiwa. Taylor gripped the dashboard, the G-forces of Welch's aggressive driving pinning him to the seat. The road was a blur. A sudden shriek of bullets ripped through the air, stitching a jagged line across the asphalt ahead. Taylor flinched, then cursed. "Those bastards," he muttered, the rage a hot ember in his chest. His leg, still stiff from a minor sprain during a rough landing drill last month, throbbed with the exertion of the dash. He'd volunteered for fighters, eager for the thrill, but this was no drill. This was the unforgiving edge. Haliiwa was mercifully untouched. 2 P-40B Tomahawks, lean and predatory, sat waiting, their engines already rumbling to life. The ground crews, pale and shaken, scrambled to finish arming. ".30 cals only, sir," one shouted over the engine noise. Taylor nodded, strapping himself into the cramped cockpit. His hands moved on autopilot, flicking switches, engaging the starter. The P-40 shuddered, then leapt forward, the prop washing a blast of hot air behind it. He clawed for altitude, Welch a shadow off his wing. They found them near Iwa, a formation of Aichi Val dive bombers, fat and complacent, strafing the airfield below. Taylor shoved the throttle forward, the Merlin engine screaming its protest. He lined up on a Val, the crosshairs dancing. Burst control, steady hand. He squeezed the trigger. The .30 caliber rounds ripped into the bomber's fuselage. A flicker of fire, then a sickening lurch as it spiraled earthward. He banked hard, the P-40 groaning, adrenaline a bitter taste in his mouth. He registered Welch's voice, clipped and urgent over the radio, claiming another. He was maneuvering, seeking another angle on a straggling Val, when a sharp crack echoed through the cockpit. A searing pain blossomed in his left leg. He grunted, a primal sound of agony, and instinctively pushed the stick forward, diving into a cloud. The dull thud of the .30 caliber fire from the Val's tail gunner was a reminder of his mistake. He pulled back, shaking, his legs screaming. Blood bloomed darkly on his tuxedo pants. He was low on ammunition. the gun cam blinking red. "Welch, I'm out," he rasped, his voice tight with pain. "Wheeler, need 50 cal." The landing at Wheeler was a desperate affair, dodging frantic anti-aircraft fire and ground personnel. He touched down hard, the wounded leg protesting. The scolding was immediate, sharp, and entirely predictable. A senior officer, his face grim with disbelief, confronted him as he limped from the cockpit, leaving a trail of blood. "Lieutenant, what in God's name do you think you're doing? Unauthorized sortie. You could have been shot down by friendly fire." Taylor met his gaze, defiance simmering beneath the pain. "Sir, they were bombing our airfield. Someone had to do something." He clenched his jaw, the adrenaline still coursing, making him tremble. He watched as ground crews, their faces etched with fear, tried to reload his P-40. The second wave hit Wheeler with brutal efficiency. Zero, sleek and deadly, screamed low over the airfield, their guns spitting fire. The ground crews scattered like leaves before a storm. Taylor, gritting his teeth against the pain in his leg, saw ammunition boxes still sitting precariously on his wing. Welch, somehow, was already airborne, a streak of green against the smoke-filled sky. No time for proper procedure. He ignored the throbbing leg, pushed the throttle forward, and jumped the chocks. The ammunition boxes tumbled off as he lifted off, his guns blazing, a desperate defiance against the overwhelming odds. He was a blur of motion, his wounded leg screaming with every rudder input. A Zero latched onto his tail, its tracer round streaking past his canopy. He heard Welch's frantic call, then saw the Zero disintegrate in a burst of flame. Welch, again, his wingman, his unlikely partner in this bloody dance. He pressed his attack, the .30 calibers hammering, the P-40 vibrating with the violence of it. He saw a flash of smoke, then another Zero spiraling down. His ammunition counter was flashing red, then blank, empty. He turned back, heading for WWII, his P-40 a battered veteran of impossible odds. The silence of his empty guns was deafening. WWII was quiet, having the enemy withdrawn. He landed, the P-40 struts groaning, and climbed out, the pain in his leg now a dull, persistent ache. Welch was already on the ground, his face streaked with grease and fatigue, but alive. They drove back to Wheeler, the Buick a silent testament to their mourning. Major Austin, their squadron commander, saw them, his expression a mixture of disbelief and grudging respect as he noted their tattered tuxedo pants. Taylor leaned against the car, the adrenaline fading, replaced with a profound exhaustion. He was alive. He had fought. He had killed. The memory of the enemy planes, the screams of the engines, the smell of burning oil, it would never leave him. The world, once a place of comfortable routines, was now irrevocably altered. He was a pilot, yes, but more than that, he was a survivor. A man marked by the brutal, unforgiving nature of war. The cost, he knew, would be paid in the quiet hours of the night, in the memories that would inevitably return. His personal identity, once defined by the easy camaraderie of the squadron, was now inextricably bound to the visceral, brutal truth of combat.